Hello, Newport family. Pastor Britta here. I wanted to come to you and give a little bit of an update about our discernment teams. We gathered these discernment teams to do some work with God about what Newport has to offer for our children and our youth, our young people. And so this team gathered together and we are asking two questions as a team. The first is, how is Newport Covenant uniquely gifted to and equipped to love and serve our young people? Question number one. The second question is, do we need someone then to come alongside us and help us live into this unique giftedness and calling? And who and what might that be for our church? When we first sought to address these, I would say, leadership openings in children and youth ministry, we offered to you that we were going to do two discernment teams, one for children and one for youth. After having a conversation with Eric Cave, who works with our conference in children and youth ministry, equipping and supporting churches to do that kind of ministry, he made the suggestion, and we took it well, that we may want to, as a discernment team, look at young people as a whole instead of just children or just youth. And the reason being that a lot of churches in the area are seeking to address their ministry to both children and youth kind of under the overhead of someone together, and then out of that then there's age specific ministry. So we said you may do well to ask these questions together and have a team that's looking at it together instead of separately. So that's why we have one discernment team to discern these questions for our young people. We had our first meeting on July 16th, and we talked about what discernment looks like. Pastor Mary, our church chair, helped lead that team and what discernment looks like. And so these two questions that we are discerning together, we will enter in to. That first question we'll talk about in August, and the second question we'll talk about in September. I want you to know that our discernment team has, let me count them, 8 members. Jane Young, Katie Paris, Katie Harris, isn't that fun? Janet Batiste, Dan Lashevsky, Heather Nemi, and Jim Giordano are a part of that team, along with me, and then a number of other people who are supporting through prayer and presence. And so if you have words that might help these people in their discernment process with God, would you offer them with grace and with hope? And would you pray for them? This work of discernment and discovering what God might have for Newport and for our young people is hard work. So would you pray with them? I want you to know that after this discernment process with this team, we'll begin to ask part 2 and form a team, a part 2 team that would, if this discernment team agrees that we do need paid people to support this kind of ministry with us, a second group would come out of this discernment team. A second group that would be either a calling team or a hiring team. And we will wait and see with God about what that looks like after this discernment team has done their good work. So pray with us. We thank you so much for your encouragement, and we welcome questions. Send them along to me, send them to anyone in our group. We are grateful that we get to do this work of kingdom vision with God and for our young people.